Now we'll see one of the existing composite report that I created. Report. This is one of the matrix report that will be associated to composite report. So you guys are aware of financial these things. Basically, composite report will be created for financial requirements. Okay. For any kind of balances. Okay. So this is something we do. Okay. If you see the matrix report, it is actually created with journals. You are aware of any financial terms, Ganga and Srinivas?
Yes, I do. To a very, very high level, not into deeper. I understand the journals and ledgers kind of things.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, and the expense. Okay. Very high level. Yeah.
Fine. Okay. So generally, composite report will be created for financial things on monthly accounting things, any kind of the balancing accounting process and all. We'll be creating composite report actually. For that, we cannot have a composite report itself to source the data. It should have a kind of matrix report. Is the only report that can be added as a sub report actually. Okay. So this is one of the matrix report that will be sourcing for journal lines and financial reporting, and you can see it has a filter for company and reporting time period. Okay, and it is grouped by ledger account, company, and cost center. And you can see there is no drillable fields, nothing is there. Okay, just it will pull ledger account, company, and cost center. You have a default prompts. Okay, you have some default prompt that comes from this data source. Okay, so most of the prompts are set not to prompt actually. Okay. Few mandatory things we have set to prompt. When I run this matrix report, so company global model yes, amount type I can say beginning balance, and ledger I can say actuals, and period I can say time period I can say current period. Okay, if I run this, I should be able to see some data for company account. There are 3 rows. For GMS I can see, for cost center around debit amount I can see, activity I can see, and credit amount I can see. Okay, so but when I change the period, okay, I change the period from 2025 to March. I can see some additional information with the different cost centers coming into the part actually. But if I can change the amount type from beginning balance to activity, let's see what it will populate. You'll see some more information getting added based on the financial transaction actually. Okay. So for each kind of activity in a company or in a cost center that will be happening, you should be seeing the account type. Okay. The amount type will be generating the values actually. This will be giving you your organizational accounting information for balancing period actually. Okay. Now this report will be sourced as a data source for your composite report. Okay. So now we see the composite report that we have. Whenever you're creating any composite report, the first thing is you need to keep, this is a little different actually. This is not from the regular report that we have seen. So all these are columns. Okay. All these are rows actually. Okay. For each column, okay, you need to specify, let's say for this one. So there is something called control field. Okay. There is something called control field. So you'll be taking the column type as control field and you'll give the column name as ledger, and we'll take ledger business object. Okay. We'll take ledger business object that will be getting you the data of the ledger account. And I can see account structure. This is default ledger hierarchy, and then automatically this will be populated from this hierarchy. Okay. So your first column is taken as a ledger account column, which is a control field from the business object called ledger account. Okay. So that you're taking it from here. And then the second column, right, where you'll be attaching your matrix report. Okay, whatever you have seen, right? We'll be attaching the matrix report. So the matrix report is attached. Okay. And whatever the prompts that are there for each matrix report. So we have seen in the report, right? These are all the prompts that we have now. These are all the prompts that we made. These are all the prompts that will be populated as, okay. Added as yes, and you can see prompt, all those things. And for amount type, we have taken specific value as a beginning balance. Okay, for column 2 actually. For column 2, we have taken amount type as a beginning balance, and then fields to aggregate is an activity. Okay, so that you have taken for a column 2. Okay, and then you can see column 3 also. This is column 3. When you see column 3, you should be seeing same matrix report you have attached. You have taken amount type as an activity, and here you have changed field to aggregate as a debit amount actually. Okay, debit amount you have changed, and for other field you will be taking credit amount actually. Okay, so here fields to aggregate you have taken as a debit amount, which you have mentioned in the matrix report actually. Okay, go to your column. This thing where you have taken, here it is taking ledger account from the ledger account business object. Here it is taking column 2 is taking beginning balance. Okay, and here it is taking aggregate field as a beginning balance it has taken, and here it is taking a debit amount actually. Okay, and similarly here it is taking credit amount. Okay. So you just need to add the credit amount actually. Okay, credit amount it has taken in the same matrix report, it has taken the credit amount. Okay, then you have something called ending balance. Okay, ending balance is something that you'll be taking. So you can see here, matrix report is actually giving all the information, beginning balance, ending balance, activity and all. It is giving all the information. Okay. Here you have taken fields to aggregate as an activity and the same. Okay. Amount type you have taken as ending balance. And then here you have taken ledger account as a ledger account join field. And the last one, you are doing a kind of expression actually. Okay. You're doing a kind of expression. Where you're multiplying column 3. Okay, multiplying your column 3 actually. Okay. Here you can see multiply expression you are giving, multiply column 3 with 2. Okay. So that will be giving you your calculation actually. Okay. So here you have taken a column type as a calculation. The other things, this one, for 4, C2, C3, C4, and C5, you have taken column type as data. And for C1, you have taken column type as a control field actually. And then expression you have added. Okay. You have added expression and click on OK so that your expression will be performing a mathematical operation. Okay. And till here, you have configured all the required columns, and then you are having rows actually. Okay. Based on your data requirements, you'll be making your rows. Okay. Edit. Okay. And you have the filter that you're taking for row is ledger account. Okay. Ledger account that you have taken. All the available ledger account that we have in Workday, we have taken all those things. Okay. We have taken all the ledger accounts into consideration and showing up all these things. Okay. So row 1 is actually getting ledger account. Okay. And then you have row 2. Okay. When you take row 2, you can see here we are giving a row name as a ledger combined data. Okay. And here these are all default values. When you wanted to sort, how you wanted to sort. Okay. You'll be having default values. How you wanted to sort your data. Okay. From the row 2. R2, C1, row 2, column 1. Okay. Row 2, column 2, row 2, column 3, row 2, column 4. Like that you have, depends upon the column that you have taken, right? 6 columns that you have created. So that is the reason it is taking to which column it has to combine. Combine data it is saying, right? So if you take a ledger combine data, it will take with column 1, column 2, column 3, which column it has to combine is what it is saying here. So that's what your ledger combined data talks about. And then last, it is grand total. Okay. This is a grand total. Edit. And I have a grand total, which will be summing up. Okay. Summing up your row 2 actually. Okay. Whatever it has got combined, it will be summing up the row 2. Okay. So that will be what you will be managing your expression in row 1. So in this way, you can actually make this is one of the sample thing that I've created. So based on the kind of requirement that you see, any matrix report that you wanted to have to be attached, you can actually configure all those things as a source for your Composite report. And now when you run, so once you configure, all these things will be completed. And you don't need to go to rows and columns, because as you have configured rows, you can see all those what you have configured, all those are showing up here. This is row 1. Okay, and this is row 1, and you can see row 2, and you can see row 3 also, which we were row 3 you have seen grand total, and row 2 you have seen this one. Okay, and then columns, if you see, we had 6 columns, right? You can see all the 6 columns, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6. You can have all the columns, and the combined name we can take as column name we have taken for C1 as a ledger account, and for C2, C3, C4, C5 we have taken the column names like this. Okay, in that way you should be able to configure your columns actually. With that, you should be good actually. Okay, so that will give you maximum data. You don't need to go for any kind of, nothing is there for cells and prompts. If you have any kind of specific prompt that you want to take, you can actually take. Since you have given in the matrix report, right, those prompts will be by defaultly showing up. You don't need to give anything. Whatever you have given in the matrix report, those prompts will be populated here. Okay, company, ledger, period, time period, and all, everything will be coming from matrix report. Then coming to the column headings. Okay, what you wanted to add is a column headings for few of the customer report that you can view. Okay, you can see C1 ledger account, C2 beginning balance, C3 debit account, credit account, ending balance, and you have given some kind of debit account plus credit account as a kind of mathematical operation you have given. There is no column name given, but you have an option to define column names for each of the column that you have taken. You can define the column name if you want for each of the column that you have. Okay, so that you should be able to manage your columns with your own kind of format that you wanted to populate. Okay. Now, once configure all things, if you run, you will be getting a kind of composite format for what you are looking for. Actually, generally, finance team will be expecting the similar output. Let's say global model, global model ESA, and then ledger, actual period. These are all coming from matrix actually. Okay. Click on OK. So here your composite report will actually give little more detail like debit amount, credit amount. Okay. Here why it is showing as a kind of yellow shade, right? We have something configured in the columns actually. Okay. In the columns we have configured this thing. If you go to report, how this can be populated like this. Debit amount it is showing, right? Or credit amount it is showing. If we go to credit amount or column, you can see style total yellow is what we have given, and accordingly your output is populating this way. Okay. So basically, your matrix report will be giving you most of the analytical information, and all you need to do is you need to configure your composite report with your additional kind of attribute that you wanted to configure. You can configure all those things and get to a kind of format that will be giving you data in a composite format. Okay, so which will be basically used by accounting teams. Okay, any kind of the receivable teams. There will be a kind of financial teams who will be managing data requirements. For them, these kind of outputs will be giving you a kind of analysis to further proceed with any kind of detailed information in that particular company or cost center or region. That way, your composite report will be typically used for reporting requirements for finance actually. Okay. So it's little different from other report, but only the thing is matrix report will be the source for your composite report. It will be getting a maximum data that your composite report will be returning. Any questions?
Yes. Question, Samir. So, what is the use case of this report in HR? I know finance, for numbering and reporting looks great, but what is the use case in HR of this report?
HR will not create any composite report. We'll go with only matrix report. Okay, we don't have any use cases for HR for composite actually.
Oh, it's not used, is it?
Mostly in HR will not create any composite report. Only for financial things where they wanted to have a kind of analytical format, right? For those things we'll be creating. In composite report, we will not create any in HR, we will not create any composite reports. Okay. So mostly our HR requirements will be in a analytical format with requirements of matrix and trending. Okay, these two are the mostly used HR reports. But finance composite report is a source actually. So all the finance team, they will be expecting data in a composite format. Okay.
And other usual question that I would ask, right? Like, can this be shared with others? A, and is there a business object dependency on this? Is there only one business object can be used, or can I have multiple business objects like RBOs?
No, you cannot have RBOs. You can only have primary business object.
Only one.
Yeah.
And that's going to be worker or something else?
Anything. Okay. Anything.
It can be anything. It can be anything. It can be,
okay. But it can only primary business. Here we have used ledger account as a business object.
Okay. Okay. But only one, right? Only one primary business object.
Only one. Nothing other. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So that
can I share this report with others?
Can you share this report? No, you cannot share because it is a kind of report that matrix report you can share, but composite report you don't have an option to share actually. Okay,
you cannot share.
Yeah, it will not be shared actually, but you have a when you share a matrix report, it automatically, since the source is a matrix report, if you share a matrix report, even that person should be able to access your composite also, because this will be added as a kind of sub report for your composite report, right? That should be the person should be able to whom you are sharing, right? The person should be able to access your composite as well.
Oh, so you mean if I share matrix, then person will also be able to see composite?
Composite.
Or reverse?
Because that is what, in all the columns that we added, right? Because matrix report is used as a sub report for your composite report actually. Okay. So though you don't have an option to share your composite report to others, but you have an option to have your matrix report to be shared, with which you'll be seeing even a composite report can be accessed by that person.
Okay. Okay. So it's best is you create matrix and share matrix so that way they get both.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Because
and can I schedule this? Is scheduling allowed in this? Scheduling?
No. Matrix composite report you cannot schedule. Okay.
Schedule. Okay.
You cannot
schedule. I guess it's also not web service enabled, correct?
No.
Web service is out. Okay.
Even only web service is advanced report only. Okay.
Advanced report only. Okay.
Yeah. Even a matrix report, you will not have an option to do a kind of schedule. Okay. Because it's a kind of chart related, right? I don't think you have an option to. Yeah. So matrix report, you have an option, but composite, you cannot schedule actually. But mostly matrix report in real time use cases that I've seen, right? You'll not schedule a matrix report because matrix report is typically used for analytical purpose, getting a kind of graphical format, kind of charts and all, right? So you cannot share your graphical format in a spreadsheet to others. It will not allow actually. Okay. Only tabular format matrix report can be shared. But chart format matrix report cannot be shared. Because
So then question
not,
is, can I create matrix report or this composite report and give access to like managers or ELTs? When I say ELT, I mean executive leadership team, top level, correct? Because
yeah.
these are mostly predominantly used at that level, correct? Not at every employee or junior
No,
managers.
composite report will not be used by employee. Mostly finance executives, finance vice presidents, financial
Correct.
users, financial the directors. They'll be using this
Correct.
to get some kind of analytics on the invoices, sales, and all, suppliers, and all.
Correct. That's exactly my question is ELT, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if I cannot share it, so how the security is built around this report?
No, matrix report is shared. No, matrix report. We have a matrix report, right? So here you'll be sharing. You have authorized security groups. Is there? You'll be sharing to finance administrator or finance executive or
Okay.
finance.
Okay.
So you'll be sharing to a security group. All the team from finance will be able to access.
Okay. Okay. So that way they also can access
Yeah.
composite report if
Yeah.
created.
Yes. Yeah.
So are we saying composite report is a subset of matrix or the other way around?
Composite report is a subset of matrix actually because you're
Matrix is
adding all
okay.
the matrix data to composite report. Because when you
Okay.
run a matrix report, you'll be getting all the data. You've seen, right? When I ran this report, let's say if I ran the matrix report, you'll almost see the same data. Okay. Only the thing is you have option to add multiple other columns in a composite report. Let's say if I go for global model, say actuals, period, current period, time period, current period. If I click on OK, you can see almost same form. Okay. You can see even your matrix, your composite report when you run. Okay. So this is what your composite, and you can see only in composite report you have an option to add multiple columns here. Okay, but whereas in matrix report you don't have an option to add multiple columns, but you have an option to add some kind of deliverable fields kind of things you can add. But ultimately, all this is populating from grouping that you have done by ledger account company cost center, and this you have taken in a column grouping actually. That's what it is populating. But in composite report, you have an option to add beginning balance, debit amount, credit amount, and ending balance, and your debit plus credit, where you can actually sum up your debit and credit amounts here. Okay. That way, you can say composite report is a subset of your matrix report. Here you will be calling the data.
Just curious to know, why are we combining debit plus credit? These are two different things, no?
Grand total. If you wanted to have debit amount, credit amount as a kind of grand total, you're combining both things. Okay.
But we don't need it, right? In any case, because debit is separate, credit is separate.
No,
Makes sense because just thinking, right? In any business scenario.
if you wanted to have, no, if you see, go back to your report development. Okay. If you don't want that calculation, you can exclude. Okay. So all you need is in the column, right? You have added a calculation. Okay. So kind of thing here is you can perform some kind of mathematical operations when you're creating a column. Okay. So here, if you don't want, you can actually remove this thing. Okay.
Okay. Oh, as an example, you took it. As an example, we took it. Correct.
Yeah. If you go here, you have an option to do a kind of expression. Okay, for debit and credit. Okay, where you can do. If you don't want to go for calculation, you can do the column 6, which will not be populating as a kind of row. Okay. So, but the intention here is to show you how.
Just a question there. Just a question, if I can ask, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So debit amount and credit amount are in two different columns, C3 and
Yeah,
C4,
yeah,
correct?
yeah.
If you can click on C6, debit plus credit, click on
Mm-hmm.
that hyperlink. Click on the hyperlink debit plus credit. The calculation says, where is the calculation? Oh yeah, look at that. Multiply C3 into 2. It's actually C3 plus C4, no? Expression.
Back. Yeah. So here,
Yeah, because debit in C3, credit in C4, but the formula here in C6 says C3 into 2. Is it saying C3 and the next column? 2 means next column?
yeah, next column. Yeah. C3 means next column. C3 and second column from C3. Okay, it is taking
Oh,
in that way. Okay.
oh,
C3
yeah.
and the next column. So that is a
Okay.
kind of expression that you can take actually, which is because when you go in this way, it doesn't make sense, right? Whatever you're having in the two, it doesn't make sense actually. Okay. So
Yeah,
here,
exactly. That
C3,
I was like, yeah.
yeah. So that way it is taking C3, next column it is taking here. From C3 it is
Can I
second
use
column it is taking.
can I use calculated fields in this report?
No, calculate field you cannot use here. You can add expressions, SQL expressions that you can add. In matrix you can add. So matrix, I told you, right? Composite report, you don't have an option to add fields also. Okay. Everything will be coming from your matrix report. All you need to do is whenever you are adding any kind of composite matrix report to the composite report, you can add all the calculations in the matrix only. You can add all the calculations in the matrix and call those as a kind of attributes into composite report. So all you have in your composite report is select the data from the matrix report. Okay. So all we have done here is, if you have seen, so all this C2, C3, C4, C5, these are all coming from matrix report only. Only here we have given a ledger account as a column name. Nothing we have done here. Okay. There is no default thing. So we have just created a column name and given a column type as a control field actually. But C2, C3, C4, and C5, these are all you are getting from a matrix report. Okay. As a data, and you are giving columns as a columns that you're getting a beginning balance, debit amount, credit amount, ending balance that you're getting matrix report, you're giving them as a column. And lastly, since we wanted to perform a kind of calculation, there is a column type called calculation. Just to show you how the calculation column type will work, we have done some kind of expression here.
And in the composite report, you can only use metric report type, correct?
Yes.
No other report types can be used. Only
No,
metric report.
only
Matrix report.
yeah, only matrix report will be the sub report for composite.
Okay. And that is called sub report?
Sub report, yeah.
And you need metric report for sure, without which you cannot create a composite report, correct?
No,
That's must
no,
for sure.
yes, yeah, that's a must action. That's the reason we say composite report will be running with multiple data sources. One is with matrix report. The other one is its own data source that we'll give, the business object that we'll give, right? That will be considering as a kind of source actually. So it will be running on multiple sources.
Okay. No, come again. What was that? Multiple sources mean? I'm sorry, I could not catch it. What is multiple sources, Amit?
You're saying you asked matrix report can be source, right? So matrix report can be only the source actually. It cannot be, we cannot have any other report as a source for matrix report. Okay. And the data source that we say for composite report, right? Data source, generally in all other reports we say advanced report can run on one source and matrix report can run on one source and trended report can run on one source, right? But composite report, when you're actually giving, you can give a matrix report as a kind of one source, and also you can give some kind of other business objects that actually pull. If you see here in your column one, if I edit this column one, it is taking ledger account from ledger account business object actually. Okay. And if you see the column two, it is taking data from data source actually. Data source matrix report actually. So it is collecting the data from multiple sources. So it is taking from the ledger account business object, and it is also taking data from matrix report actually. So it is taking it as a multiple source report. So there is a reason we say composite report will be running on multiple sources.
Okay, so that means it can use multiple VOs, correct?
Yes.
Not one VO.
Not related to. It cannot use a related business object. Okay. So once you use any related primary business object ledger account, you don't have an option to use related for that one. Okay.
Okay. Composite report can use multiple sources.
Yeah.
Okay. But it cannot be a RBO. It can be a primary business object.
Can be a primary business object. Yes. Yeah.
But multiple PBOs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's what your composite report will be dealt with. Mostly in HR, you will not be getting any request to manage a composite report, but you will be getting your matrix trended to perform any kind of turnover calculations. But composite report you will not get, because your data that you will be managing in finance will require some kind of specific format, but whereas HR, you won't be needing anything. Get in a composite format. So most of the business requirement that you get in HR reporting would be on a matrix report and trended report.
I'm just thinking, right, Amit, how about the payroll? Can this not be used in payroll? Because payroll cost per department for a given quarter, correct? The department cost or cost center cost for a given quarter, right? Because payroll comes under HR, right?
Because we can handle that in a matrix report. No, you're getting a payroll data for a cost center. You're saying, right? We can get that in advanced report and matrix report also. Okay.
So not data. I'm talking about the composite one. Can that be not leveraged for payroll module?
No, payroll I have not seen any composite reports, because payroll will just be used for payroll results, payroll inputs, deductions, kind of things.
Oh, no. My question is not transactional, Amit. My question is,
I'm talking about reporting only. I'm talking about reporting only.
Reporting for ELTs, correct? I know these are for senior level reportings, correct? I'm looking at only that reporting now. So because they also need, okay, give me the department level cost for this quarter and what was it last quarter, what was it in the rollover last 12 months, correct? These are the data points that you usually ask.
You can get that in trending report. No, why to go for composite? Okay. You can get all this in trending report, right? Trending report. Okay. Yeah, trending report have an option to get the trends for the last 6 months, last 1 year, last 1 month, okay, last 3 months. You have an option to get that from trending, because all this, if you wanted to understand and kind of analytics that has happened in last 1 year or 6 months, right? That should be storing data in a trended business object, where you need to actually go get all these things added to your trended workers and get all the information from trended report. Okay, that is one way that you can do. And even your matrix report also you can do. You can make some kind of calculations for each period that you wanted to hold and add those periods as a kind of grouping column in a matrix report and get all that information. But I've not seen any kind of executive team looking for. They'll be majorly looking for turnover reports actually. Okay, getting kind of attrition ratio, getting a kind of termination ratio. Okay, getting a kind of sourcing ratios they'll be seeing, but not something related to payroll actually. Okay. But if at all, is there any kind of requirement, we can utilize matrix report as one of the type report, or trending report also can be get into that area. All we need to do is we need to make some kind of calculations to get that into trended business object.
Okay. So if I were to create a turnover report, thank you for raising that up. So I can use the trended one, right, rather than advanced. Like trended I need the. I'm sorry.
For turnover reports, you need trended only. Trended and matrix report. Yeah.
Trended and metrics, or just trended?
Trended can be used for specific requirements. If you're looking for any kind of trends from the specific period, you can actually use trend. So if you're not looking for any specific period, if you're just looking current turnover information, let's say headcount by gender, okay, headcount by user organizations, headcount by and all. So those kind of information you can get from matrix report.
Okay. So my requirement is I need the turnover for this month, this quarter, this year YTD, and in last 12 months LTM. So which one is good for me? I mean, I have turnover, I have new hires, I have headcount, I also have gender level and ethnicity level. All these are like
You need
current
to create multiple
employee.
reports. You need to create multiple reports. Cannot be achieved in a single report. We need to create for every criteria a separate report. We need to create, and that should be your trending report should work because you are looking for the kind of analytics from last few months, right? Your trending report should work actually. Multiple reports we need to
Correct.
create.
Oh
Like
yeah. I'll get that. I need to create multiple reports. My question is which
trending.
report type I should be using?
Trending
Trending.
report can be used. Yes, yeah.
Trending reports. Okay.
Yep.
As long as it is a count, right? As long as it's a count.
Count as long as it is a period that you're also looking for specific period, right? From last 1 year
Correct.
or last 6 months
Correct.
kind of things, right? So your trending,
Correct.
you can go back and get the data.
Correct.
Such kind of requirements, yeah.
Mm. And it also calculates the percentage, is it? Trending.
Yeah,
Oh, trending is no
you can.
percentage. There is an option,
Yeah.
correct? Yeah.
Yeah, there is an option. We have seen, no, it has percentile option, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
For both matrix as well as trending, they can get a percentage.
And I guess there are some standard out of box reports, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, right, whenever you're having this matrix as well as some turnover kind of requirements, specific to turnover, there are no specific standard reports. Okay. So we need to create a few things according to the requirements. But trending reports, I don't say the standard reports are there. Matrix, at least we have few, but trending reports, we don't have any kind of standard report because all the data that we will be getting from a trending report will be coming from trended objects, right? So that will be running in the background, jobs will be running and performing some kind of trended calculations and all. So you don't have any kind of delivered report that will be looking for this, but standard report, okay. But custom reports, you should be able to handle for trended requirements. So which you'll be creating from the scratch.
Okay.
Okay.
And which report enables me to have multiple what do you call that box? I am not able to recall that name.
Multiple box.
Multiple boxes in one single page, like one for headcount by year, second one for headcount by gender, third one for, let's say, headcount by ethnicity, right? Something like that. But in the same page, 3 different boxes, correct? There is a canvas. Oh, is that called canvas?
Inbox report you're saying?
Oh, no, not inbox, not inbox. For dashboarding, right? It's basically dashboarding. So where you have one in pie chart, maybe second one in what other chart called? There are multiple charts, right? Pie chart, donut chart, whatnot, right?
We have.
So in the same page, I want to show one as headcount by department. Second one, headcount by gender. Third one, headcount by let's say region, which is location. Correct? Something like that. But all should come in one single slide, one single presentation slide. Which report gives me this?
No report will give you that information. Okay. So only dashboard called discovery dashboard. There is a concept called discovery dashboard where you can actually create multiple kind of visualizations. How many you have, you can actually go with the discovery dashboards. A report will not give you this is something coming from dashboard, right? You need to see everything as a kind of chart, as a visual, right? Matrix report will get only one group by things actually. It will give you only one chart. It cannot give you multiple charts. And even trended also cannot give you multiple charts. But there is a concept called discovery dashboard concept where you can actually create multiple visuals. That's how you're saying, right? You wanted to have gender by count, organization by count, company by count. If you wanted to have, you can actually create multiple visuals with discovery dashboard, which is dashboard concept actually.
Okay. I can use the same report to create multiple visuals on the same page, correct?
Yes, multiple visuals you can do. Same data source you can use to create multiple visuals.
then I will have multiple boxes in the same screen. Correct?
Yeah, in the same screen, you will be seeing for discovery dashboards.
Okay.
If you're going with matrix report, right, you need to create multiple matrix and add to the dashboard. So that you'll be seeing multiple in the dashboard. But if you want to have everything on a single dashboard, discovery dashboard will work, which you can create more than 6. If it is a standard dashboard, it will allow only 6 actually. Maximum limit is 6, that you can add 6 charts in one dashboard. But whereas discovery, it will allow more than 6. Okay. So you can add multiple visuals, which is more than 6, but whereas the standard dashboard will limit only for 6. You need to have 6 charts that can be added to but you need to have 6 reports, 6 matrix reports, or 6 trending reports, or multiple things you can add in a dashboard. Whereas coming to your discovery board, from a single source, you can create multiple visuals actually. You don't need to create multiple reports. From a single data source, you can create multiple visuals that you can go with discovery dashboards.
Hold on. Thank you for all those key information. Okay.
Yeah.
So standard dashboard, you can have max 6 charts in one single page, correct?
Yes, 6. Yeah.
Discovery dashboard, you said you can have multiple,
more than
charts.
6. Yeah.
Multiple charts. Okay,
Yep.
There is no limit.
There is no limit actually. Yeah.
So then you said 6 matrix report, correct? If I'm going with the matrix reports chart, then I need 6 matrix reports individual.
For dashboards, yeah. For
dashboard, because each matrix report can only create one chart.
One chart, yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Similarly, trending report can also create
same behavior. Same behavior
one
as a
chart.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So which one? The advanced report can create multiple, you mean?
No, advanced report cannot do anything. Okay. Discovery board. Okay. There is a concept called discovery board, which can create more than 6 actually. It's nothing but you just use a source for creating your discovery board. A kind of similar to dashboards, we have a new concept called discovery boards actually, which is new concept that is launched by Workday 2 years back. You can use that for creating multiple visuals actually, which is not for reporting actually. You can use data sources for creating a discovery dashboard. Okay. Discovery board is something outside of your reporting actually. It's something.
I need to visualize that for me. Let me visualize that. Okay. So I have a advanced report, correct? Using advanced report, I can create the charts.
No.
Correct?
You'll not do advanced report, you'll not use for charts. For charts, you'll use only matrix report and trending reports.
Oh, okay. So you mean I cannot use the advanced report for charting?
No,
do the dashboarding, charting and all?
We cannot.
Oh, okay.
Only matrix and trended can be used for charts, analytics kind of thing.
I thought you can create some charts using that. It's not doable, is it? Pie chart, donut chart.
Where you're saying in advanced report?
Yeah.
Advanced report will not group the data. Now, how can you do that? Advanced report will not be able to group the data. But if you wanted to have a chart, you need to group the data, right? Matrix report can group the data and trended report cannot group the data. Advanced report cannot. Advanced report limitation, only one thing, it cannot group the data. But if you wanted to chart, if you want to have a normal chart, it can. But grouping is something that you need to have in a chart, right? If you wanted to have x-axis, y-axis, or if you wanted to know by country, by grouping, by criteria, you cannot do that in advanced.
Okay. You're saying normal charting is doable, correct?
Yeah, normal regular charts we can do. Okay. But there is no business use case for advanced report charting actually. It will not create, because since it will not group the data, charting concept will not come with advanced report.
No, makes sense. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. I always thought, I have seen it chart, but that's a normal chart.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Normal chart. Okay.
Yep.
So for grouping level chart, you do need either trending or matrix report.
Matrix report, yes.
That's a source. Then for trending, you need to create, it can create only one.
Yeah.
1:1, 1 by 1, right? I mean, 1 for 1.
Yes.
Matrix also 1 for 1.
Yeah.
But you need to go for trending. What did you say? Trending discovery dashboard.
Discovery dashboard is a dashboard concept, not a reporting concept. Okay, so where you can actually use data sources for creating visuals actually.
Amit, would you mind showing me in couple of minutes? I don't know whether it is doable, where I can see the trending, not trending. What is that? Discovery
Discovery.
dashboard. Yeah.
Discovery board. Yeah.
And is it part of report writer or it's a separate
No,
license we
it's
need to
not
have?
report, right? It's part of dashboards.
Dashboarding. Okay.
Yeah. It's a
But,
we have a standard dashboards, right? Where you can add
Mhm.
multiple reports to the standard dashboard. But whereas discovery dashboards, this is something, where you can add multiple kind of, visuals for your dashboards. You need to be a Drive administrator for this. Okay. It's not
Oh,
something
okay.
that you create. Okay. So you need to go to a Drive and we have something called discovery board. Okay.
Oh, okay. Drive discovery board. Okay.
So this is something where you'll be just using your sources actually. Okay.
And this discovery board is part of your overall reporting license only, correct?
Yeah.
Part of core HCM, correct?
Yep. Correct. Save and finance also.
Okay. Okay. Discovery board. Okay. So you basically import the report here,
Yeah.
either trended or
Yeah.
matrix.
Let me show. I think I'll show what I've created for other participants. Internet is little slow.
And you need to enable people analytics for this in the tenant.
What is that?
People analytics.
Uh-huh.
Oh, do
People,
I need to enable that?
no. People analytics is different. Okay. You can see. Okay. I think cannot render visualization. I'm trying to open one of the existing thing that has
Mhm.
multiple visualizations. Okay. Call center manager, finance discovery board.
And if I keep something in Drive, there is no expiration date, right? Is this something like, okay, after 3 years, I will delete everything? It's not something like that, correct?
You will not. Okay. You can delete. There is an option to delete, but it will not get, there is no expiration for that. Okay.
There is no auto delete by workday, correct?
No, there is no delete. Okay. So you can see something like this. Okay. So you can have, these are multiple visualizations that you can make in discovery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 visualizations we have. So in this way, you can actually create multiple things. Okay. Which you cannot do in your standard dashboard.
Yeah. I love this.
Yeah.
So, okay, now let me ask you this. These are the, what do you call, discovery boards, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Each little box, what do you call? Canvas?
Visual.
What do you call? Visual?
Yeah, visualizations. Okay.
These are visualizations. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And each of these have a table behind them, or it's a
Yes.
one single table built all these.
One single actually. Okay. It has single data source. You can see here. You can see here journal lines for financial reporting is a data source it has.
Hmm.
Okay.
And this is what trended, right?
Not trended. This is discovery actually.
Oh, no. I'm saying this report is what? Trended or matrix?
No,
Source.
reporting concept
Source
is
file.
different. Okay. Reporting is not what we are talking. This is discovery dashboard. The concept is discovery dashboard. This is not something trending or matrix. Okay. So we are just inserting our data sources in the discovery board and we are making visualizations. Okay.
Oh,
See,
you mean you don't need a
we are not creating reports.
report to
Actually.
be created. You don't need a report to be created to do this.
We don't need report. From this, we can create reports. Okay. But reporting is not needed here. Okay. We're just
Okay,
using a
fantastic.
data source and just making these visualizations. Okay. From the,
Wow.
so you'll get all the fields from here. Okay. You'll have all the filters and you'll get all the fields from the data source. You can use these fields to make your visualizations.
Okay, so for this, can I also add my data from outside of Workday in this? Can I import the data in this here?
No, you need to get that into Prism, and from Prism you can call it here.
Okay.
You need to get into Prism, and Prism sources can be added as a discovery board source, and you can add Prism data here. Directly you cannot.
But I think that's a separate learning, right?
Yeah.
I know I already have data in Prism. I mean, Prism, I have the data. So
if you have all the Prism data, you can call that source, Prism data source, into discovery board act. You can make a visualization. If you have everything,
okay.
you can make a visualization. You can get that into matrix also. You don't need to come to discovery. You can use that Prism source in matrix and create a visualization, chart visualization. Okay.
Because in Prism data, you cannot see any details, right? You can just see one row, correct? That's it.
You can, in Prism data source, so once you have all the data, right, you can actually group by. Once you input that into matrix report, or once you input that into discovery, you can actually do a kind of group by. Okay, you can compare those things and do a kind of group by.
That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah. That's what most of the customers will do. They'll get all their external data into Prism and get into Prism data source, make analytics with discovery reports or your matrix reports.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
So, okay, let me ask you any other additional questions. So we use Prism. We used it for bringing the data from legacy system. I think it was UKG data. We already have it in Prism for one of our legacy companies. So we have new legacy company now, which we're going to sunset very soon because as part of M&A. They use ADP. Okay. Since I already have the Prism enabled and used it for the last legacy company, do I have any option to bring the ADP data here directly, or it's going to be a new project, you think?
It has to be a new project, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's mapping and all this stuff has to be done, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Data mapping has to be performed, right?
But there is no way I can use the data for, let's say, 1,000 employees in a spreadsheet with all the relevant columns that I have in matrix report. I use the similar type of columns in my spreadsheet and import it. Is that an option?
Using web services? Using web services?
Not web services. I'm talking about, say, I have a matrix report created for my employees that are already in Workday. Correct? The current.
Yeah.
So I have a legacy company where I have, let's say, 1,000 employees, but they use ADP. They use ADP. Correct? I build a matrix report or trended report, whatever report, correct? I build it.
Yeah.
I use the same columns. Whatever I have used for metrics or trended, I use the same column and bring the similar data from legacy company in an Excel sheet, correct? So can I use any import to use it in the same matrix report and append the data and add this legacy company's data?
You need to, web services, you need to import the data. You need to do a kind of data conversions, actually. Okay. So if you perform data mapping, you'll be making all the data mapping into EAB templates, and you can import those things. Only the thing is, you'd have web services accepting the data. Okay.
Okay. So you're saying it has to be created first in Workday.
It has to be created, and those needs to be added. Okay. Those needs to be managed with web services, actually.
So there is no option to directly import it.
No, you cannot directly import anything in Workday. You need to have some web services available for that. If you want to hire an employee, there should be hire web service to hire. Okay. Outside of hiring, you cannot hire an employee. You want to create a position, you need to have a create position web service available. Okay, that will allow you to create positions. So any transaction that has to come, so you need to have web services that should process the data into Workday.
Okay.
You cannot directly import.
Makes sense.
Okay. Fine then. Okay.
This
So
is
yeah,
very informative. Thank you.
good. No worries.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you, Amit. One last question.
Yep.
Like all these reports, so far we learned simple to composite reports. All these reports, we are using the tool called Report Writer.
Yeah.
So what is this Expresso tool used for?
Express for report is not a tool actually. It's one of the standard report actually. Okay. In standard reports, we have two types of reports. One is report writer. The other one is your Express for report. That is different. Okay. That is different.
Okay.
As a kind of a report writer concept, everything, whatever related report will be coming directly. Within the report writer, you have two types of reports, standard report and custom report. And within standard report, there are Express report and report writer type actually. Okay. So that is different and this is different. Okay. Report writer is a concept. Okay. And within standard report, there is a standard report type of report writer and Express as a one of the report type actually. And report writer standard report can be copied. Express report cannot be copied. That's a sub concept I can say. Within standard report types are report writer and Express flow. And on the whole topic, whenever someone say, are you certified in report writer, which comes all these things, all the concept that we have discussed, right? Report writer standard reports and Express report standard reports will be coming under as a kind of concept.